I hope you're enjoying the programming here on Family Radio. This is Focus on Issues, your local public affairs program on KFRN 1280 AM. My name is Suong Tran. Today's focus is on the 19th Annual Shoe Drive and Health Fair. Our guest is Dr. S. Don Kim. He's a board-certified podiatrist and the owner of Kim Holistic Foot and Ankle Center in Long Beach. Dr. Kim, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Well, this year's Shoe Drive Health Fair takes place on Saturday, August 20th. Tell us how this shoe drive began.
Well, it's a long story, but it started in 1990. I was a surgical resident in training, and I joined the medical mission team of Baja Crippled Children Clinic down in Tijuana, Mexico. And our goal was to go down there and treat all these crippled children with very deformed leg, feet, and ankle. That particular weekend, I was with a team. We must operate it at least 24 hours straight, nonstop, other than some bathroom breaks. And I was completely exhausted. And I came out of the surgical suite, and I was sitting in the steps in front of the clinic. And I started hearing all kinds of noises, people playing soccer. I realized all these kids didn't have any shoes on. And obviously they were very good soccer players. And I looked to the left, and there's long lines of people still trying to get into the clinic. I realized that, when I get my practice going next several years, I want to bring some shoes down here to give to the kids and the other people who are coming to the clinic. It took me about 7 years after I got my practice going. Then I decided to have my own shoe drive in 1997. That was our first year. We collected well over 5,000 pairs that year. And I sent all the boxes and boxes of shoes with other surgical residents that are going down to the clinic. And then that's how the whole shoe drive started.
Wow, so you collected a lot of shoes that first year.
Yes, we call it beginner's luck because I didn't realize it. We said, let's collect some and then see what happens. But we collected so many shoes, and it was amazing. It was amazing. People are so happy donating shoes, and because they see that it's going to go to a good place, so other people can use them. So
I think there are problems that can occur if we don't have the proper shoes. Is that right?
Well, yes and no. I recommend as a holistic podiatrist, I'm one of the 3 in the nation actually, practice holistically, meaning we take care of not only their symptomatic foot and ankle problems, but I look a little beyond that and see what's really causing these problems. So I recommend people to go barefooted as much as possible because that's what strengthens your feet, and we have to be careful because you don't want to walk somewhere on the street because there's a lot of things that can hurt you. But I recommend daily you go out there and like on the soft surfaces, like on the sand. So go to the beach and walk on the sand would be one of the best things you can do, as well as the grass. Somewhere more, like in the park, when it's a safe place, it's well cleaned up, then you want to walk more barefooted because, number one, you are strengthening your feet by being barefooted. Another reason is what we call earthing. Earthing is when we have our direct contact with our Mother Earth, where we come from. When we do that, it takes the energy from the earth. We call them earthing. I don't want to diverge out from what we're talking about here, but yes, going barefoot would be very important at times. However, you do need shoes when you go out there walking long distance in the hard surfaces, especially if you're diabetic or if you're losing sensation in the bottom of the feet. I see some patients coming in to see me. They go to Palm Springs or something over 100 degrees, and they walked on a hard surface, but they don't feel as much pain because they're numb there, and then they cause all kinds of blisters, and then they come see me. Those are things that I see in the summer times.
Well, as a podiatrist, what are some of the other foot problems that you're seeing at your office?
Well, we see an array of all different problems, anything foot and ankle related. I specialize in heel pain. Out of the 30, 40 patients I see every day, at least 10 people come in with the heel pain. I even had it, so heel pain is one of the most common things that I see. It's a heel pain in the bottom of the heel, on the back of the heel. When you get up in the morning, you feel a lot of pain. You're walking like a grandpa or grandma, holding onto the furniture, going to the restroom. We see a lot of fungal nail condition, which is a very common problem now, and also, array of other foot and ankle problems such as bunions and hammer toes, neuromas, things like that. in our practice.
Okay.
But since I'm a holistic practitioner, I try to reach these problems with a little bit different angle. I say, what's really causing it? Let's say, for instance, fungal toenail. Obviously, it comes from the outside. You can get infection from, being in the locker room to, being in the shoes too long and sweating and things like that. However, it's an internal problem because it's an immune system. Your immune system is not working very well to fight this fungus that are invading from the outside, but it's actually also inside as well. So I teach people how to get on certain supplements, how to clean up their diet, how to exercise and sweat properly, how to detoxify their body to improve their immune system. It's a little different approach than what other podiatrists would do.
Instead of just giving someone a cream?
Yes. Yeah, well, cream, I do that. I do all the conventional treatment, the topical cream. We sometimes give oral medication. I have a laser machine that kills the fungus as well. But overall, unless and until you clean up your inside of your immune system to fight up this fungus, your fungus will not go away. So, which is what I realized 20 years ago, and I started writing books and doing seminars on how to really teach people how to improve their health overall to improve their symptoms rather than the other way around, and just treating symptoms alone, and next thing you know, the problem keeps coming back.
Uh-huh. When you said that you're seeing a lot of patients with heel pain, what are some of the causes of heel pain?
Well, there are many different causes of the heel pain, but number one thing is inactivity. A lot of athletes don't have heel pain because they're so active and they're so pliable. Unless they're really overdoing it, obviously you can get that problem as well. But I see a lot more inactive people. They're sitting all day long in front of the computer, and then what happens is that all the tendons on the back of the leg, especially tendo Achilles tendon, bottom of the heel, because you're not using it and becoming pliable or more flexible, it stiffens up and it swells up because of inactivity that causes problem. Obviously, our whole country is very overweight these days. Over 65% are obese. And because of that, obviously, putting a lot more weight on the heel can cause this problem. You have a certain amount of weight you should carry every day because of your body type that you're born with or your bone density, and then you put extra force into it, and then it causes all kinds of problems, especially like a heel pain.
Okay, so do you tell patients to be more active?
Yes, a lot of stretching. As a holistic podiatrist, I encourage everybody to strengthen and stretch their feet. We have over 20 muscles on the feet. We're walking and standing all day long, but we're not really strengthening our feet. So that became a huge epidemic with all kinds of foot and ankle problems. So I recommend people not only you treat your symptoms that you came in with, but before you go away and then not see me anymore, which is fine, since you're feeling better, you need to strengthen your feet, and you need to really make your feet more flexible.
I read that some foot-related problems such as bunions, corns, and hammer toes can be related to not having the right fitted shoes. So is that true, and what would cause that? Well,
the shape of the shoes, obviously. I recently read a study on the American Medical Association Journal talking about more than 65% of women wear shoes that are smaller than their feet. So imagine that one. So literally we're cramping the whole foot into this tight shoes in the name of fashion, especially the front part of the foot, and then causing hammer toes, bunions, and all kinds of things like that. And obviously not having enough support in the shoes is a big problem, especially if you have a very dramatic foot type. If you have a high arch foot type or very low flat foot type, so you're at the end of either spectrum of your foot type, you may have a lot of problems. If you have a high arch foot, which are a lot better foot, they're a lot more stable foot type. However, it's too stable, too rigid, where it can cause a lot of ankle sprains, heel pain, and such things like that. Now, if you have a really flat foot, which you have a lot more problem because you're too flexible to handle all the load that are going through your feet, so they have a lot of bunions and hammer toes and a lot of other problems as well. So if you do have this very extreme foot type, and I usually tell, I see a lot of patients come in and bring their whole family. When they do, I have all of them take all their shoes off, and I compare all of them and say, listen, who's got which foot type? And they usually inherited a certain foot type. So I tell people, I said, for you to prevent your mom and dad's foot problems that they're suffering now, you start taking care of your feet right now so that hopefully you won't get to that stage. So if you have either foot type, very extreme foot type, you do need to see your foot doctor and then get evaluated and get some support that will negate all these external forces that are going through, whether it's too high of an arch or whether it's too low of an arch.
What about wearing shoes that are too big?
Well, yeah, that's another problem, because now you're going to get a lot of fatigue issues, because if your shoes are too big, your feet want to stay in the shoes. You don't want to keep slipping out of the shoes. All your muscles, your leg muscles, and your foot muscles are working overtime to keep your feet inside the shoes, so which can cause a lot of aches and pains as well.
Well, Dr. Kim, I know there's a lot of other questions I can ask you, but let's wrap the show up by talking about your annual shoe drive. It's taking place on Saturday, August 20th. So what type of shoes are you looking for?
Well, we're looking for all types of shoes. We have, since that time, in 2001, and our fourth annual shoe drive, we started donating the shoes to local charities, because I was doing this free clinic down in Long Beach, right next to downtown Long Beach on the Pine Avenue, just a couple blocks away. And I saw all these people literally in the alley of this church, barefooted and cooking, and that's where they slept. So I'm going like, okay, well, I can bring the shoes down to Mexico too, but I got to feed my neighbors here. So I started collecting shoes and then donated. I called all the local charities, homeless charities, and right now about 10 local charities will come that day and pick up all their shoes. We collect anywhere from 10 to 20,000 pairs of shoes, so there are plenty to go around, and we're going to send some down to Mexico. I was just in Mexico this last weekend on a mission trip. I'm a born-again Christian. I've been a Christian for 14 years now, and we go to this family mission down in Mexico every year. I take my little boy with me. He just turned 6, so he needs to kind of see what's going on the other side of the world. And so we're going to collect some shoes and then bring them down to this orphanage down there as well. So we need all kinds of shoes, any gently used shoes, but it could be used. They'll decide whether they can use it or not. But we're gonna sort them all out and get them all ready so that different homeless ministries can use it for their different purposes. So we do need some volunteers, though. I asked people to come, and we got literally thousands and thousands of shoes downstairs on our storage that need sorting out and labeling them so that it can go to different areas. So
for your shoe drive, is there also a health fair?
Yes, we're going to have our first annual health fair. We're going to invite local doctors and different vendors to come in and showcase their product and services. We're going to have a lot of fun that day. We're going to have, watermelon eating contests, pony rides. We're going to have a lot of fun with different games. We're going to have food. The currency that day is shoes. So if you bring 2 pairs of shoes, then you get free lunch. So please come, bring your shoes. We'll do a great thing for the Lord and all of us.
What's your address?
701 East 28th Street, Suite 111. It's Atlantic Medical Center, right across the street from Long Beach Memorial Medical Center. It's on Atlantic and 28th Street.
Do you have a website and a phone number that our listeners can call?
Yes, kimfoot.com. And then if you want to go to our shoe drive area, it's kimfoot.com/shoe drive. There are about 50 different donation locations right now. People can drop off shoes, or you can come to our office and drop them off as well. So if you can donate before then, it's even better, and we'll give you vouchers for your free meal that day. So obviously that day you can bring some, or we welcome that, but you can bring your shoes right now so we can sort them out and put them in the right place before that day so that it can go to the right place that day.
Okay. Now what about a phone number, Dr. Kim?
562-426-2551.
Okay, so the website again is kimfoot.com?
Yes, kimfoot.com, KIMFOOT.com. And if you want to go to the shoe drive area, /shoe drive.
Okay, and the phone number is 562-426-2551.
Yes.
All right, we've been speaking with Dr. S. Don Kim. He is a board-certified podiatrist and the owner of Kim Holistic Foot and Ankle Center in Long Beach. Dr. Kim, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You've been listening to Focus on Issues. The opinions and views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station or management. This program is presented as a public service of KFRN 1280 AM. If you're aware of a need, interest, or concern of the City of Long Beach, you can email me at stran@familyradio.org. To learn more about Family Radio, a beacon of truth and hope, go to familyradio.org or call us toll-free 1-800-543-1495.